the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all. It all. I wanna know if you really want it. And if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I wanna know if you really need it. And if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear.
Hi everybody. Good evening. All right, let's get started, folks. Good evening, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's a cold, blistery, wintry night here in Western New York. Hope it's nice where you are. Oh, here they are chiming in already. Yeah, nice and sunny Florida. I know, I know, I know, I know. Anyway. All right, let's get started. Why are you there, Hugh? You know what? I kind of like the weather. I know it sounds quirky, but it's kind of nice to see interesting weather. Interesting. All right, let's get started, folks. I think if I hit this button, we should be good to go. And certainly we are. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's weekly fireside chat. Introduction to trading, preview of the coming week. My name is Hugh. It is January 18th today. Yes, it is. January the 18th. And I never did fire up my cell phone here. Hold on, wait a second here. I got one thing I have to do. I knew there's something I was missing here. I monitor my video on my cell phone just to make sure I can make sure I'm still in the middle of the camera all the time. So I have to log in. I have to log in just like everybody else. Oh, doesn't work. Okay, it's okay. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye in a different way. I know if I do it this way. There, that works. That works. All right, so let's get started, folks. There's the questions box. You'll find the icon on your Zoom dashboard, and you'll find that yeah, that I'm the only one that sees it. So go ahead and say whatever you want. All right. So that'll work. And questions box. Any questions or comments? Go ahead and put them in the questions box. Okay, second round of snow here in Connecticut. I know it's been kind of crazy. My wife went down to Columbus, Ohio for a business trip, and says, yeah, snowed all the way there. They drove crazy. How can you even fly? He said, kidding? I'd rather drive, take the risk. Okay. Anyway, all right. Susanna, I'll be traveling overseas for 2 months. You know if I'll be able to trade. Depends where you go. I don't see why not. Depends, I guess, on where you go. I know depends on what program you're with. I know a lot of programs you can trade pretty well anywhere. So just keep I trust you're taking your computer with you, or laptop, or your cell phone or something. You should be able to trade. I know a few months ago when we were we were on vacation in Germany, and I had my cell phone, and I traded there on tour. Drove my friends crazy because we'd be on a tour bus, and there I am on my cell phone trading away. Well, I didn't miss anything, but just when there's a lull in the action, and we were in the cruise. We had a river cruise, and be trading there as well. So it's just, you can trade pretty well anywhere. Um, I'm gonna say hmm, as long as there's internet, you should be fine. I'm guessing, so should be good. Good to go. All right. Let's see. Quick question for you. Where are you guys? Where'd you find out about us? Let us know in the questions box. Come from website, email, social media, newsletter, or other. How did you find out about us so that you can just so we get an idea? We're getting into social media in well, I'd like to say strong way, but I think we're still on Instagram. I'm not sure we're on too much else. I think there might be something on um, Facebook, and I know they're setting up for TikTok and YouTube and all that. They keep asking us for content and sending videos. It's turning into a full-time job. And I don't know if John's on. John's not on. He's enjoying his night with the family here, long weekend. I don't know how he got away with it, but I seem to be the one that's doing all the social media videos and stuff. So I was telling my social media manager, Grace, I don't know if she's on. I don't think she's on. No, she's not on. She's smarter than to be on here tonight. She goes, and she's telling me, "Oh, we'll just do a video." Oh yeah, you think it's easy doing a video, do you? You have no idea how many, how long it takes to do even a 30-second video for me, you know? First of all, I'm not very photogenic, so you gotta always find the right. Anyway, it doesn't matter, folks. All right, email. Yes, it was a Viking cruise. It was a Viking River cruise. We went from Amsterdam down to Switzerland. Email, newsletter. Okay, okay. Email. Okay, look your Thursday email a lot. Okay, thanks for that. That's the newsletter. Thank you for that. I know, Johnny. I don't remember what I had for breakfast, let alone what I found out about you. I know. I keep asking because they keep wanting to do a survey. Well, where did we find you? I don't know. They find you from everywhere, you know. Do you go to McDonald's and say, if they say, "Would you hear about us?" You say, "Well, I don't know. We're radio, TV, ad, billboard. I don't know. I've just been coming here for 30 years." Anyway, yeah, you get it from everywhere, right? So here's a disclaimer. I think you've all read this probably a million times. Just remember that you alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. I think you all know that. Okay, let's move on. All right, what are we going to talk about here? Your hosts, that's me. I am your host. John is he's not on tonight. He never is on Sunday. I shouldn't say never. Rarely does he pop in on Sunday night. Just like see, big she's not here. He's not here. But when I say host, we do well. I call him a host too because he's on our trading room, along with me. So I'm just looking to see. Yes, I learned most of everything here from the trenches trading. All right, and I think a lot of know that. Never set out in school, university to be a trader or anything like that. I mean, that just kind of happened, right? Started trading, found a few strategies that worked really, really, really well, and then people started asking, Hugh, how'd you find out? Show me what you're doing. Show me what you're doing. So, and I show them. Then they coerce me into showing them what I'm doing online. One thing led to another. Before I know it, I've got an inner circle, got a trading room, got courses, videos, ebooks, you name it. Like, holy jeez, this is not where I'm supposed to go. I remember, I gotta tell you, stories all the time, stories, I like stories. Um, when we first started, we thought, well, this is not going to last. A couple of weeks, that'll be it, right? It'll fizzle out. But instead of fizzling out, it ballooned, mushroomed. People started telling their friends, oh, you got to go see this guy, whatever. And people started knocking on our door, throwing money at us. Oh, tell us what to trade. Tell us what to trade. Oh, wow. Okay, well, hang on. I am not a financial advisor. I can't take your money for advice, so I'm not giving you advice, but I can teach you what I do. Okay, teach me, teach me. So anyway, the thing is grew from there, and so I look for short-term breakout trades, small multiple daily gains. They add up. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And during the trading room, we do several trades. After the trading room, sometimes I'll do a lot more trades, and depends if I'm at one with the market, I do really, really well. If I'm not really kind of swinging at one with the market, then I just kind of pull back. John, now, on the other hand, he's actually a litigation lawyer, turned options trader. How often do you see that, folks? How often do you see that? He, I don't think he practices law anymore, but he used to be in the oil and gas industry in Texas, an old Texas boy. He's got a ranch out there in the middle of nowhere. Really super nice guy, highly acclaimed in many industry publications. His philosophy is very simple. Take what the market will give you. If the market gives you 20 cents, grab it. wait for the next setup, grab it, kind of like what I do. So he and I come from different places to the same thing, trading SPY options, SPY. We trade SPY. By the way, if you are new on, put that in the questions box too. If you're new to SPY, new to options, if you don't know what options are, let me know that too. Anyway, we come to the same place from different directions. And I've got my own set of indicators, and he has his own set of indicators. And we have a saying that when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. And it's very true. Okay, very, very true. So it's actually pretty exciting. Um, yeah, we trade SPY options. SPY follows the S&P 500, and where the economy goes, that's where SPY goes. Basically, that's the essence of what we're doing here. Folks, a couple announcements to make. First of all, SPY on the Market. This is our weekly newsletter. It's called SPY on the Market. That's what we do. We spy on the market. I write that newsletter. I put John's name on there too, but I write the newsletter. I've been writing. I think we're up to like 121 editions or something. Anyway, it's a free e-newsletter. Every Thursday goes out, lands in your inbox. Brief read, maybe a couple minutes, light, relevant, entertaining. Subscribe. Go to daytradespy.com. When the pop-up comes up, just leave us your email address and you will be on that list and you're going to get this. You're going to get the newsletter every week. Okay. So let me just center this here. This week's topic, Day Trade Spy live event. Yes, we are going to talk about a very, very special event, which leads us to our next announcement. And I'm going to tell you more about this a little bit, all right, a little bit later on, all right, in the session. So this is going to be a live training seminar. Oh my gosh, people have been pushing us. When do we get to see you guys? When are you going to do a live event? How about a live event? How about live training? Let's get a hotel room. Yeah, okay. Um, I should watch how I say that. Uh, let's get a hotel room where everybody goes, and we teach you. That's maybe I should expand on that one. There you go. And that's what we're doing. So John and myself, we are going to be live in person, trading and educational workshops in Baltimore, Maryland, April the 21st and 22nd. We'll be rolling in on the 20th. And we're going to be inviting you as well, too, and have a little bit of a meet and greet. I think it's 7 o'clock on the 20th. But it's going to be 2 solid days of trading and interactive questions. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. Let's move on. Let's move on because I know why you're here. You want to see, well, what happened last week. And this is what happened last week. Let's take a look here. It looks like I keep looking away. I've got two monitors, and whenever I look at the monitor with the with my picture on it, it actually looks like I'm looking the other way. I wonder if there's some way to reverse that. I'll have to figure that out. This is what the market looked like last week. Each of these candlesticks represents 1 hour of time. The green candlesticks show us that the market had gone up. The red candlesticks, the market had gone down. Okay, and let's analyze it. Hit another new high. Traders shrugged off the risk of Fed Chair Powell's investigation. This is Monday. And the independence of the Federal Reserve, not Red Reserve, Fed Reserve. I had this checked. Fed Reserve. And the S&P 500 climbed to new heights. There it is right there. Pre-market on Tuesday. But then slid amid Trump's capping of credit card interest rates. Bounce came after record high. Profit taking. You also had some inflation data, consumer price index data, and bank earnings reports. SPY bounced around up and down there. We did break off support, ended up in the day somewhere around, just I think around 694, a little under 694. On Wednesday, Nvidia led the tech losses as investors cooled on AI, artificial intelligence, sent SPY down about 0.53%. That recovery was pretty quick, though. By Thursday, we had good earnings and outlook from Taiwan semiconductors manufacturing that calmed fears because they're concerned. See, whenever something happens in AI, gets a little bump, then they think, oh, that's the end of AI, the bubble's bursting and everything else. But then the next day it seems like, oh, somebody likes AI again and pulls everything back up again. This goes to show you how much power AI has. And I'm tempted to think AI might be replacing interest rates as far as impact on the stock market. I don't know. I've been kind of watching that here, but anyway, it allayed fears, helped SPY recover recent losses to edge back up. Lower unemployment claims and higher Philly Fed manufacturing index were also inflationary. Those numbers are inflationary, so that closed SPY lower, ran right back down to 692.18 to close. Bounced around in pre-market, post-market, pre-market, and then by Friday, the S&P 500 ended pretty well flat-lined after the latest comments by Trump related to the Fed Reserve and geopolitics. He's into this, got to get Greenland. We have to get Greenland, and they're not going to like it, and I don't care. We're going to go after Greenland. Not really sure how that works. I know he's a real estate mogul, but I guess I'm not really quite understanding. We talk about this a lot in the trading room. The U.S. has a military base there already. You know, with the military technology we have, we can put a missile in somebody's back pocket anywhere in the world. And then, of course, the argument about minerals. Well, except you have to go through a mile of ice to get to it. Is, is that feasible? Is that doable? How does that work? I don't know. What's your opinion? Should we get Greenland? Should we just leave Greenland alone? Leave it alone. Who wants to be there? And by the way, you talk about stormy weather. Yeah, yeah, live in Greenland. You don't know stormy weather. They have stormy weather all the time. Um, anyway, it's interesting, but I think that's where we got a reputation of being, like bullies and whatever, and uh, you know, let them be autonomous. Let them be. They're fine. If you see something happening, I don't know. Anyway, they didn't consult me, so what can I say? Folks, here's a chart of the seasonals. That blue line way up at the top here, hardly anything up there. That's where SPY is now. That's where SPY is now. And the red line is the average of the last 5 years closing price on the daily charts. Let's zoom in on this a little bit here. And we'll see that historically, SPY was actually down about a point over last week. And looking into the future, SPY gained a couple points in the week following. So it's pretty well as expected last week. We had a pretty we did a loss last week, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But looking forward, well, we might edge up a little bit if we follow historical patterns. But I don't think we live in times that you can kind of go back and historically, this is what happened. We live in very unique times. I'll tell you about it. But you know what? If you look past the headlines, fundamentals are still driving the market, and the SPY is extremely resilient, very, very resilient. Um, just in the last little while, we had the U.S. attack. Venezuelan ships captured Maduro, brought him back. Threats of military action in Iran. DOJ launched an investigation into Fed Chair Powell. There goes the Fed Reserve's independence. I'm not so sure. White House looks to ban institutional investors from buying single-family homes. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac told to buy $200 billion of mortgage bonds. White House proposes a one-year 10% credit card cap. U.S. threat to take over Greenland. We had, civil unrest, Minneapolis. A lot of crazy things going on in the world every day. You open the news and oh my gosh, how can it get any worse? What's going on here? And it's only mid-January. Am I the only one that feels like I'm living in a bizarre world? Or, or are we really? Are we living in a real weird? This is kind of like, do you guys find this a little weird? Oh, please stop the roll. I want to slow down a little bit. I don't understand. I do not understand where President Trump gets his energy. Energy from where does this all, where does he get this energy from? Folks, low energy prices overcome geopolitical shocks, having short-lived effects on market performance. Oil is kind of on the low side. You know what? It doesn't seem all of this stuff doesn't seem to really affect the market. We've had several record highs on the S&P 500. And I know a lot of people holding long-term investments. I've got a few bucks in that too, and just kind of sitting there parked. And I'll tell you, I'm making more and more money just sitting there waiting and, just letting it rise to the top. It's actually unbelievable. Moderating inflation allows the Fed's room to ease gradually. CPI held steady here. We've got economic growth remains solid. Real GDP rose 3.8% in Q2, 4.3% Q3. They're estimating 2% in Q4. 2026 looks promising as well. And corporate profits, estimates of 8% over last year. We're in the middle of earnings season right now. And banks have reported they've all pretty much beat estimates. And the Magnificent Seven, I don't think they are going to be reporting this week. I think they're coming in next week. Like not this coming week, but the following week. That's when we're going to see a lot of those guys come in. But here's a look at the trend with more resilience expected in 2026. USP versus GDP growth, actual and consensus estimates. We're looking here at real growth. Look at this, and we're seeing some real growth here in these quarters, and it looks like we're into 2+% for 2026. And so it's expected to remain steady. We'll see where it goes. I mean, that's not really sure where it's going to go. I mean, the things are looking as they do. They'll probably continue even higher. So, but last week was not any great shakes. Here's what we did here with with the market, and let me bring this more in the middle. There we go. S&P, Nasdaq, and Dow. We lost on all three indices here. And looks like we lost 0.4% on the S&P 500. We're still year to date 1.4%. So if that continues, let me see, 1.4%. And if we're only, say, halfway through the month, roughly. So, I mean, if this keeps up, at this rate, we should hit over 36% on the S&P 500. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see, right? All right, markets Monday, tomorrow, they are closed. It's a holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. On Tuesday, we've got ADP weekly employment change. Then Wednesday, things start ramping up a little bit here. President Trump speaks at the World Economic Forum. He's at Davos this time. Pending home sales on Thursday. We've got unemployment claims. Personal consumption expenditures. This is the big one that the Feds look at to determine whether they should lower interest rates or not. Personal consumption expenditures. That's the big one. And the Fed Reserve is going to be releasing their interest rate announcement. That's going to be on the 28th, Wednesday, 28th. So in this particular case, it's coming in the right order. PCE first, then the interest rate announcement. We also have personal income, personal spending, and a final GDP report coming up on Thursday. Friday, S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, also S&P Global Services PMI report. These are flash manufacturing and services PMI reports. We also have University of Michigan consumer sentiment and also inflation expectations on Friday. So what does this mean for volatility? And this is one of the issues that we had here recently. We had low volatility. Let's go back. Here we go. Volatility. Markets close tomorrow. Low volatility on Tuesday. High on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And watch for higher volatility whenever President Trump speaks. All right. So there. Many opportunities every day, folks. Excuse me. If you just want to look at the opportunities, take a look at any chart. Any chart. Take a look at a 5-minute chart or 1-minute chart any day. You can go back and see just how much money the market could have given you. So I hear these comments a lot from people saying, well, the market's not doing what it's supposed to. Really, what's it supposed to be doing? The market is the market, all right? Maybe you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I know very often I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing. But there are many opportunities every day. The market gives us and sometimes I do that. I will look back and see how many opportunities do we have today. And it's uncanny just how friendly the market is. I think the market is your best friend. The enemy is the person in the mirror. That's the enemy right there. All right, whether you know the material or whether you have the emotional wherewithal to execute trades. These are these are the things, right? These are the things. But we identify these opportunities, and we show you how to identify them and how to trade them. That's what we do. All right. So, okay. Now, one of the things we are working on is the 2026 goal. We call this a goal rather than a challenge. Very simple. We track all our trades in the trading room, recording them as if we are only buying 5 contracts per trade. These are just the ones that we do in the trading room. So you can follow along to the end of the year, see where we end up, and all trading room trades are included. So we are not identifying, okay, this is a gold trade. It's not. All of the trades that we are executing in the trading room are counted as if you're buying 5 contracts. So a little more paperwork for us, but this is the cool thing. You can jump in at any point and watch your equity grow if you just follow along. All right, that's kind of what it's all about. And we do it in the trade, so you have to be in the trading room to do this. We don't send out notices or alerts or anything like that to anybody else. And then this is one of the things that comes up in the trading room. People want us to, put in the chat box what we're going to trade or what we're doing. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to, like we identify a setup and we'll talk about it, we narrate it, and then we execute it. So we don't have time to do all this paperwork, if you will, entering something in the chat. And the market moves very quickly. So these decisions often come within like seconds of, okay, this is setting up. I like what's happening here. As soon as the price jumps over this particular level or whatever, I'm getting into some calls or whatever, right? So you just have to pay attention. It's just a matter of paying attention. Um, we talk a lot about that. And don't worry if you're not picking it all up. I get it. It's very fast moving, and sometimes people think it's very fast. But the key is to stay with it, and you are going to pick it up. Those people that stay, for example, stay in the trading room for a long time, they're doing extremely well. A lot of them are like blowing us out of the water. And that makes sense because we are distracted by narrating the event, and they are just busy trading. And we also trade our own money, and sometimes we neglect to, pay attention to our own trades. So we end up losing on our own trades or maybe not making as much. I'll never forget a couple weeks ago. Oh, I was so mad at myself. I couldn't believe it. I was narrating the event, and right out of the gate, I entered a position, and it actually ran up a whole dollar. My option ran up $1. And those of you in the options world know that that's a lot of money. And I'm narrating and narrating. I neglected to actually sell my position. And then it came right back down, and I ended up selling. I made, I don't know, 12, 15% profit or something, but or cents or whatever it was. But I had $1 in there, and I just, so mad. I was talking my way through it. That and I neglected to. I kept thinking I got to sell it. I got to sell it. But I was in the middle of something, and well, I couldn't sell it now because I'm talking about it rather than pushing the buttons. Anyway, yeah, we give up a lot for you. So, all right. So, what was I going to say here about the trading room? Yes, it does sound like air traffic control. And if you can just imagine, pilots would know what I'm talking about, or maybe a horse race. It sounds like a horse race, and coming around the fifth quarter. I don't know. It's not quite like that, but it can be when there's a lot going on. And there's myself and John, and whenever there's a lull in the action, we just kind of exchange stories or something, just talking about a lot of nothing. So anyway, this is what we're doing here. It's actually a lot of fun. So here's where we are with this now. This is I just put it like the last week or so here. So we're up $1,535 year to date. All right. So here's a bit of a summary as to where we are. We did 47 trades already, 5 contracts each. Average investment 21.49. Excuse me. The average time per trade is 27 minutes. We've had 44 wins, 3 losses. And year-to-date gains, $1,535 if you just followed along on this. Okay. Now we know we expect it to go up and down, and hopefully it'll go up a lot further than what it is, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, we've got a 2-minute tutorial here, and I'm going to talk to you right now about the live training event. So this is a yes, this is a promotion for the live training seminar, and I want to tell you all about it because it actually is very exciting. Okay, very exciting, and I'll tell you what it is. So it's going to be at the Baltimore, Maryland Hilton, April 21st and 22nd. And when you click on the link, I'm sure you got the email or the ad in one of our emails. And if you click on it, this is what you're going to get. And obviously the clock up here is going to be there. It is. It's it's coming down. What do you 13 days, 3 hours, 29 minutes. Oh, that's for the early bird pricing. Yes, we have an early bird pricing. That is what that clock is for. The live event actually happens in April 21st, 22nd, right? And you're going to trade along with John and myself, and we're going to teach you. We're going to go over all of our strategies, techniques, and you're going to be, of course, meet other Day Trade Spy members and traders, and you can ask questions live as it happens. Now, space is limited. We're only taking 100 people, all right? So you want to reserve your spot ASAP right away, folks. Right away. Get them at the Hilton Baltimore BWI Airport, just 10 minutes from the airport. And there is a free shuttle that goes out to the Hilton. You want to know what the hotel's like? Well, you got a pool, sun deck, dining room. Oh, that's a real amenity. All Hiltons have that, do they not? Room service. Modern fitness center. I want to get an old fitness center. Who wrote this? No, it's a Hilton. Hilton's a nice place, folks. Hilton's a nice place. You got get some accolades in there, throwing this in there. But here's the thing, okay? So you got to register for this to become a better options trader, but don't wait. Space, like I say, space is limited to 100 traders. And we're going to be rolling in on the 20th of April. It's a Monday arrival, Monday night. So I will be leaving here, and I guess John will be leaving after our live trading session on Monday, and we're going to be flying to Baltimore. And there's an early bird special price, all right, $29.95 with the hotel. Now, if you don't want to stay in the Hilton, it's only $24.95. Now, this is an early bird special. You're going to save yourself a lot of money if you register early. All right, and by the regular price from February the 1st to the end of March, $34.95 with the hotel, $29.95 without the hotel. And of course, the cutoff is going to be by the end of March, or by the time we get to 100 people, and that'll be it. What do you get with this? Well, you not only get the training and trading, but you're going to get a breakfast, lunch, snacks, shuttle to and from the airport, and a merch bag. People are asking about merch. I don't know what the merch is going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be all good stuff, right? So, all right, folks, schedule. Okay, so here it is. Meet and greet, 7 o'clock on the 20th. Come on down in the hotel bar. We'll be hanging around there. And April the 21st, day one. We have a full day, folks, a full day. Introduction to options trading. This is going to be actually this is a pre-conference session for people who are new to trading. So, very important. If you have never traded anything in your life, but you want to get into the options trading world, you want to get into the SPY day trading options world, this is the place to be at 8 o'clock in the morning on April the 21st. We are going to give you an introduction to options and SPY options and what they're about. So there's going to be a very fast moving. These are fast moving events, all right? So you want to get there and bring a notepad, a laptop, whatever. I think we're going to be providing some stuff there too, but you want to take notes and check in later. Live trading from 9:15 to 10:30, of course, is going to be live with everybody online as well. Bit of a break, and then we're going to get into chart patterns, support resistance. We're going to talk about that. Have a break for lunch. In the afternoon, we're going to go over our scalping strategy, Fibonacci retracements, and repairing bad trades. That'll be the afternoon, and a Q&A session. Now, this says 4 to 4:30, but I'm pretty sure we're going to go later than that. But I will insist on breaking around 6 or 7 o'clock for dinner because I know those Q&A sessions go a long time, especially with the people that we're going to have here. It's going to be pretty exciting, and you're going to learn a lot from those Q&A sessions. All right, that's really going to be pretty cool. Next day, April the 22nd, day two, advanced money management between 8 and 9 o'clock. You want to get in on this stuff because, at the end of the day, it's always about money management. No matter how good a trade looks, no matter how confident the market is going to go in your direction, there are never, never, ever, ever any guarantees. The market is the market. And as such, you always have to practice safe money management. I remember as a kid always hearing, "Oh, practice safe sex, safe sex." Well, I never had to worry about that, Hmm. Never had anybody to practice safe sex with. Yeah. I really wasn't. I wasn't a hit with the girls, I was that. People ask me, "Oh, what were you like when you were a kid?" In high school, I was that dorky guy in the back. I was the dorky guy, doing my homework. That was me. You know. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I was never an athlete, I was, they never picked me for any sports. I was not that guy. But oh my gosh, the football players, oh man, they always got the hot ladies, right? Me, well, some girl says to me, "Get out of my way, fat." So I thought, oh, yes, my lucky day. She talked to me. you know. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't have to worry about that. But folks, safe money management. You have to have that. Okay. You have to. Otherwise, you are not going to last. You're going to get lucky. Yes, you can put all your eggs in one basket. And man, my God, you made some money. Congratulations. But eventually, might not be today, might not be tomorrow, might even be not in the next 2 weeks. One day, it's going to come and slap you right down on your butt. You won't even know what happened. And suddenly, uh-oh, I'm underwater. Big time. Now what do I do? Right? So always practice safe money management. Live trading room, day number two again. All right, 9:15 to 10:30. Another little bit of a breakdown. Life cycle of the market. This is John's specialty. He's very good at this. And he'll go over this life cycle as well. Lunch, interactive open trading session. We're going to get into trading again in the afternoon and Q&A. Wrap up day number two. I think this interactive open trading session and Q&A wrap up probably going to go in together. All right, we're probably going to be doing a lot of. There's going to be a lot of questions that are going to be asked. You can ask questions throughout this entire event. All right, so we're not going to necessarily wait for Q&A. If you have a question, we'll certainly address that because we want to get a lot of great information there. And by the way, when you come to this thing, and if you have a question, you must ask the question. I tell people that. Same in the trading room. Because chances are, if you're asking the question, there are 20 people behind you wondering the same thing. So do not feel shy about asking questions at all. That's how you learn. And, we all learn, right? It's going to be very exciting. We are going to break up at 3 o'clock so people can catch early flights out. And that's going to be very exciting. Meet and greet. Okay, there we are. There's John. Little bios, some bios in there. That's pretty cool. In the trenches trading. Okay. And yeah, I didn't know that. John was featured in Forbes.com Best of the Web Online Edition. Cool. All right, so here's some more information on it. And yes, you do get the discount, where and when. It's all here. And it all just um, reiterates pretty well what I just talked about. So the event will be recorded. There's a question earlier about that. The event will be recorded, and each attendee will receive a copy of each training session to review after the fact. So there's going to be a lot of activity going on there. And the best thing to do is if you have any specific times or whatever that you want, to kind of go back and review, maybe note the time. Okay, let's see, day one, 11:58. 11:58. What do we do? Okay, so we'll go back to that. And you can go back to the recording and see what we talked about at 11:58. Let me see, 11:58. We're probably getting ready for lunch. Okay. Anyway, so all right, so the best deals here, and I'm going to just flip off this and go back to the PowerPoint because I also wrote that in here. So here it is, folks. Trade alongside us, myself, along with John Johnson, learn our advanced strategies and techniques, live trading options, and network. Get to know some of the other people, some of the other members and traders. All right. And again, limited to 100 participants. So you want to get this early because once we hit that 100, we got to say no. As much as I'd like to open it up to, hundreds and hundreds, I think we're limited by the hotel room capacity, right? Early bird pricing, 29.95. There it is, 29.95. And this will, let me just see if I can do this here, highlight this. All right, and this is actually pretty cool. I wonder if I make this red. I wonder if I make it red and bold. Would that help? Easier to see. 29.95 includes two-night hotel stay, save $500 off the regular price. This is the early bird pricing. Or 24.95, 24.95, um, that does not include a hotel stay. Okay, no hotel stay. So if you have your own place to stay, you're getting it for less than $2,500. All right, saving us about over $1,000. Now you can check the QR code at the end. Here's the QR code, but I'm also going to have this at the end of the session. If you missed the QR code, to go back to that, or what you can always do is just wait and you'll get some promotional material on that. All right. All right, folks, let's go into some questions here. I don't want to keep you all night. Might have some big plans for the weekend here, the long weekend, right? We actually have a very long weekend here coming. Okay, all right. Let me just read some of these questions here. Okay. Okay, so if you're doing SPY deal of the day with 6% target daily, okay, is this the pick of the day? I'm not sure. On the times you have losses, do you lose the entire amount you invested that day? No. No, we cut our losses. Do you, okay, so in real, I may hold overnight or I may cut out earlier on, but we have to report the losses as at the end of the day. That is according to Eagle Management. So sometimes when we make our reports and we show these losses, that is not necessarily what we lost. Now the thing is, those numbers, like the pick of the day and whatever numbers that we actually have lots of time in those options, and they are designed to be held overnight if you do choose to. So you're not going to lose all of your your premium. Now, if you were same day expirations, then the likelihood of losing your entire premium is high, right? Because if the stock or when the stock goes against you, the recovery is oftentimes very challenging, if at all. So you want to be very careful about that. That's why I'm not a big fan of zero date expirations. I always like to buy time, even though I want to get in and out the same day, and preferably in a few minutes. The reality is it doesn't always happen that way. So if I do have to take a loss, I don't take a full loss, right? Don't take a full loss. So next question about that: do you reinvest 100% of your win each day, or just part of the win? That's all part of money management. So I'm going to have. So these days I'm just doing a set amount, number of contracts. I'm not reinvesting 100% of my wins anymore. I used to compound my trades, and it gets pretty exciting when you've got a lot of money in a single trade. Let me tell you, you start sweating pretty good. Probably not a good idea because yes, you can make a lot of money when you're putting a lot of money in, but you can also lose a lot of money, and I don't want to be there. I've done that in the past, and I've lost lots of money, of course. Who hasn't? But it's not good money management to do that. It's very foolish actually to reinvest all of your money into trades. So what I'd like to do is, for as an example, all right, let's say you start out trading, say 5 contracts, right? So you want to do that and ramp up your account balance. And then when you have your account balance ramped up, then you can come in, maybe do, 6 or 7 contracts, 10 contracts. But make sure you have a really wide berth in there. Have a good wide cushion so that if something should go horribly wrong, you are not so adversely affected that you're now out of the game. You never want to blow up your account. Okay, so you got to be very careful about that. We'll be talking about that during the live session as well. That's, I think, a very important thing. So. Okay. So okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's say place an order for 10 contracts to fulfill sometime. I get 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I want to sell 4, 3, 2, 1 separately instead of 10. No, no. Okay, I see what you're saying. So if you put in an order to buy 10 contracts and you get filled in pieces, sometimes 4, then another 2, another 3, another 1, whatever. You don't have to sell them that way. You can sell the whole thing as 10. Absolutely. So when you go to sell them, just make sure what you want is you want to change the quantity to 10 because you have 10 contracts. It's just the way they fill. And by the way, your commission will still be in relation to what your order was, the 10 contracts. So if you have a base of, say, I don't know, a dollar plus 50 cents, whatever, they're not going to charge you separate commissions for all that. They will charge you commission on based on your order. Same with when you sell. So when you go to sell and you want to say create an opposite order, and you got filled it in that particular line, say at three contracts, well, your sell order might show up as three contracts. But go back and change that three to a 10 if you have 10 contracts. That's what I do. So when I want to sell my contracts, I would leg in like that, but I don't want to leg out. If I want to get rid of, I want to get rid of them all, okay, all at once. So I will change that sell order to my entire holdings, right? Everything I have there. So all right, let's see. Still holding some calls from last week. Still got many guidance for this week. Well, I would say we're in the middle of earnings season, and there's going to be some pretty good earnings. Let me just see if I can find what earnings are coming out this week here. I think Netflix is coming out Wednesday. Let me just go back here real quick. Okay, so on Monday, let's see, Barnes and Noble. Well, Monday's going to be a holiday, so Barnes and Noble, you might want to just sit back and read a book on Monday because the markets are closed, right? However, Tuesday we have Netflix. Netflix on Tuesday. 3M company, U.S. Bancorp, another bank coming in on Tuesday. United Airlines on Tuesday, yes. Fifth Third Bancorp, all right. KeyCorp, we've got Interactive Brokers. That is on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have Johnson and Johnson, Charles Schwab, uh, Truist Financial, Kinder Morgan, Travelers Companies, Halliburton, Teledyne. Wednesday. On Thursday, we have Procter and Gamble. I thought Procter and Gamble was on Wednesday. No, that was Johnson and Johnson. Sorry. Thursday, we have Procter and Gamble, GE Aerospace, Intel Corporation, Abbott Labs, Intuitive Surgical, Capital One Financial, Freeport McMoran. Let me see what do we have on Friday the 20th, January the 22nd. That's my birthday. Oh my gosh. I hope I live that long. So far, so good. Um, That's one of the reasons I still subscribe to the local paper. I just want to make sure my obituary is not in there. So far, I've been missing it. So that's pretty cool. What do we have on Friday, the 23rd? Not too much. Uh, Not too much on Friday. It's kind of a, what is that? United Bank shares. Let's go to next week. I want to see when the Magnificent Seven. So the following week, January the 26th, Uh, pretty quiet there as well. I think we're going to be gearing up to some really good bookings here. On next Tuesday, the 27th, we've got United Health, Boeing, Texas Instruments, Nextera Energy, Northrop Grumman, UPS, Royal Caribbean. Wednesday, the 28th, here we go. Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, IBM, okay, AT&T. So Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla. Wednesday, the 20th of January is going to be a big day for earnings. Huge day for earnings. On the 29th, we have Apple, Visa, MasterCard, Caterpillar, Shell, Stryker. Okay. Friday, the 30th, Exxon, Chevron, American Express, Verizon. All right. Colgate Palmolive. So, not this week, but the following week is going to be a huge week for earnings season. All right. So, all right. Regarding the Qs, okay. You're doing the SPY deal today with 6% target. Okay. I think I answered that one here again. So, thanks for that, Mitzi. What data point during the week would you consider taking the loss on an underwater position? Okay, at what data point during the week would you consider taking a loss on an underwater position? Well, I don't want to hold into Friday. Okay, so I'd like to get out of it Monday or Tuesday, probably Wednesday at the latest. Depends on what happens Thursday. It's really dependent on Thursday. But if Thursday does not look promising, I want to be out of it by Wednesday because you'll find that theta loss starting to eat away like a fast-moving cancer. 'Cause that's really exactly what it is. It eats away really fast, and you're gone in no time. All right. So you don't want to be in these things to the end. I remember the story. I'll never forget this one gentleman. He was not a subscriber to anything, but he would he'd come along on the freebies all the time and the Sunday nights and different things. But he would still email me, and I would still answer his questions and whatnot. And super nice guy. He's an elderly gentleman, but I never wanted to get into any training or anything. But um, I remember he emailed me once. Hugh, where do you think the market's going to go? I'm sitting in some calls. Do you think it's going to hit and whatever the part target? I'm going back years. I forgot the numbers. Hit a particular target on the Friday, and I think it was Thursday or something. And I looked at it and I analyzed. I said, well, whatever his name was, I said, he's asked if it's possible. I said, well, it's possible, but highly unlikely. And the way I calculated it, the stock was going to have to go up about 10 points on Friday for him to get break even. I thought, oh my gosh, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I said to him, look, if it was me, I would just sell it, take what the market will give you because it's not likely. And by Friday, that day loss is going to be even worse. And you're going to lose it all. I don't know how much he had in it. I think he had a lot of money in it. But he ended up in the hospital. And his wife called me later to thank me for that advice. I don't know if he went in for, I don't know, heart attack, strokes, anxiety. I don't know. I never heard from him since. So, but he did. His wife actually called and thanked me for that. So, and I sensed that it was a lot of his retirement money in those trades. And I felt very bad for the guy. I really felt bad for him because it's very easy to get lured into this. Okay. This is a game. I'm going to call it a game. It's a business. It's a game. But it's very enticing. It's very addictive. And, especially so I'm going to just veer off the path here. Especially if you've had a string of winners. If you had a string of winners, you feel, oh, I feel really good. I obviously mastered this. I've got winner after winner after winner after winner. I know what I'm doing, right? I subconsciously know what I'm doing. I'm competent, subconsciously competent. And so you put more money into it. You put more money into it, and then you're making more money and more money. Oh my gosh, I made thousands of dollars. And you're going on like this. You're telling your friends, everybody, and oh my gosh, I'm a winner. And then bang, the stock hits you right down on your butt. You don't even know what happened. And you say to yourself, oh, I can't believe it. I had almost my entire retirement savings in this thing. Now I'm busted. Now I'm busted. How did this happen? And now you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, you're thinking, right? These are the thoughts that go through my mind. How am I going to tell my wife? How do I tell her that we have to go back to work? She's 78 years old. Oh my gosh. How do I tell her we're gonna lose everything? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Folks, this kind of stuff happens, okay? This kind of stuff happens. So, it's a very attractive thing because it feeds off your greed, feeds off your fear, your ego, feeds off you only live once. And what's the other one? FOMO, fear of missing out. Because you're watching other people make money, right? So, oh, I got to get in this. There's a big party going on, and I'm not there. I want to get in the, you're on the outside looking in. Everybody's having fun. They're all dancing and drinking and eating, and they're all having fun, and you're on the outside looking in. So you want to get in on the party, right? You can't let that happen. You just can't let that. And I felt so bad. I keep thinking of this guy. Every now and then I think of him, and I wonder whatever happened to him. Hope he's still okay now, but who knows? Anyway, um, got off on a tangent on that one. So, getting back to the theta loss. So I would like to be out of it. And the closer I get to the end of the week, end of expiration, the more I want to be out of it, even if it means a loss. The other day I took a loss. I sold for 60 cents. I think that was on a Wednesday last week. I had it in my inner circle wrap-up report. So I took a loss. And and then the following day, I think the option went up to like 90 cents or something. But you know what? You can't look back. You can just don't look back. There's no sense, why get burned twice, right? First financially and then emotionally. So once you sell it, it's gone. It's still no longer your trade. So, okay. let's see what happens. Okay, I'm still sitting in my calls. I had some calls from Friday, and I'm holding into them, and I'm kind of going in based on the earnings season. But I'd like to get out of those Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to see where they go. I am down a bit on that, so not not to beat that one to death. Mickey B, forget the political garb. It's not political, Mickey. These are the facts that are moving the markets. Okay, those things I was telling you. This is what's going on. You know, and there's very unstable. That's the point of it all. We're looking at a lot of instability here, and we have to kind of navigate through a lot of political, administrative, whatever instability. And the market is still coming through that, and this is what we're doing. So we have to, maneuver. It's like a minefield. And honestly, a lot of people thought, oh my gosh, we go into Iran, and oh, where's the market going to go? And bombs all over the place and everything else, and Venezuela, there goes oil and everything. All these people are trying to make some sense of it all, and through it all, that's what we have to navigate. So yes, the politics of that gets mixed in, right? And we have to maneuver through all that, and all the economics. So. Okay, yes, let Greenland be. Don't this just these are just general questions, all right? These are just an opinion of what do you think we should do with Greenland here? Don't jeopardize relationships with Greenland, Denmark, NATO, etc. I agree, Mark. Leave it be, right? Question: Did I dump my 694 calls? I'm still, if that's what they are, I'm still sitting in the calls. It must be the 694. Um, okay, okay. Is there any guidance on risk management? I got wiped out on some January gains. Also double down average losing trades, which is still high to manage losing trades. Okay, we'll probably look at that on Tuesday, how to manage an average in. You don't average in just because the market's lower. It has to, when you average in, the market has to show some signs of coming back to life. And okay, what I like to do is here's how I average in. Let's say I'm in calls and the market's up there, and then all of a sudden it drops, and I'm sitting in these things. And the market's gone down a point and a half or 2 or 3 points, right? On a news item. Chances are the news is going to wash out and the market's going to go back up. Now, if you've got some time, you should be fine. But I don't want to get in just because the price is cheap. That's an important consideration. But I want to get in when it's breaking some level of resistance. And I find that when the market came down very quickly, it'll generally go up fairly quickly too, if there isn't any real solid resistance in between that, in that drop. So if there's no real resistance in there, it'll probably shoot up fairly quickly, which is what it did the other day. And I ramped up my trades back up pretty nicely on that one. So, and again, we'll get into that in the trading room. So ask that question in there, right? Because we'll get into that, and that's where people are going to see. And again, this is not a training session. That is a training session there. So, says, okay, Susanna. Okay. Question, for those not attending the live event, will you still be doing the trading room? Absolutely, we will. So we are still going to be doing the trading room, and those people in the live event, they are going to be like they're on the trading room. All right. So it's going to be essentially that. Okay. What time do you publish the trade of the day this morning? Are you talking about the pick of the day, John? So, and I'll get into that. Let me get into that in a little bit here. Actually, let me get into this here first. Go through this as to what we teach, and I'll go back to some of the questions because I got a feeling that we're going to answer some of the questions here. Okay, so we have some really good solid goal learn and earn actionable plans too, exclusively through DayTradeSPY, and these are pretty cool. Inner Circle. These are. I'm just going to get right in here, right? So this Inner Circle. This is what I started back in 2010. In fact, this was the very first service that you had provided where we kind of tell people what we're looking at trading. Every morning, morning market analysis goes out at 9 o'clock. And this is what John writes. It's a very brief report. Well, not that brief. He gets pretty much into a lot of things, but we also give you a follow-up report later in the day. You'll be invited to our Wednesday night interactive meetups. Bring all your questions and comments there. He teaches it, and he goes on. He's very comprehensive, very articulate in what he does. Concise, informative. All you need is in one report right here. Let us do the heavy lifting, folks. Even if you're a novice, whether you're a novice or an experienced trader, all right, your morning market analysis, this gives you all that information. What we do is we collect all this data. all this information, knowledge, and all the different news events from various different news feeds, and we combine it all, compact it, and give it all to you in a nice little package. So you don't have to do all of that pre-market work. There's a lot of homework that goes into this. The inner circle, this is a steal. This is not a deal. This is actually a steal at $2.99 a year. That's less than a cup of coffee. I don't even think you get a cup of, I don't think even a course of a week, you get yourself a Starbucks. It's 5.75 a week. So everybody should be in on the inner circle. And whether you attend once a week, once a month, I'm sure you're going to get some real value out of the inner circle. The day trade spy signal, this is sent to you 3 to 5 times a week. It's in the mornings. It's in the mornings. It's not the afternoons. You don't have to worry about in the afternoons. And it's sent to your cell phone as a text message. So even if you're not in front of your computer and you get this, so let's say you get it at 10:14, the message to buy now. It gives you a particular option. Stop what you're doing, get on your cell phone, pull up your platform, make the trade. Immediately put it up for sale for a 5% profit target and walk away, come back later, and the money should be in your account. If it isn't, sell it at the end of the day at the market price. And Now, if you know our system, you may actually, if you are watching the markets, you may want to hold on. But again, we record these for recording purposes as if it is sold at market close. 3.99 a quarter or 14.95 for the year. Differs from the pick of the day. It is a little bit different. The pick of the day is similar but different. Pick of the day is a daily pick. By the way, the signal is algorithm based, whereas the pick of the day is determined by John and myself every morning. So there's a human element to the pick of the day, and we send this out in your email at about 9 o'clock, a little after 9 actually these days. We're just trying to save a little time and look for some more data before we send it out. Usually somewhere between 9:05, 9:10 at the most. Okay. And again, buy this at market open. Look for a 6% gain. If not so, by 4 o'clock, sell at market close, or you can actually hold it overnight. Again, we record it as if it is sold at market close. Same price as the signal, 3.99 a quarter, 14.95 a year. Okay. By the way, yes, these QR codes will be left up on the PowerPoint at the end of the session. So if you miss them here, don't worry about it. Our trading room is second to none, folks. Second to none. Hosted by John and myself. Interactive, learn and earn, fully narrated. This is where the rubber meets the road, where our strategies come alive. All right. Every morning, 9:20 to 10:30. By the way, if you are new to options trading, you might want to get in there around 9:15 because 9:15, 9:06, 16, we actually start a little bit earlier for those new. And just to give you a little bit of a warm up as to what we have on our charts, what we're looking at, that sort of thing, right? As a regular who's been in the market, you can come out at 9:20, you won't miss anything. But new people, we try and get them sort of primed up a little bit as to what we are doing. So we start a couple minutes early on that one. The price of this, by the way, these are recorded, so if you can't get to them, they are recorded for later review. $24.95 a year or $6.99 a quarter. Best value. You are getting the mentorship, tutelage of two professional traders, long time. John and I have over 45 years combined experience in the market, folks, and we are here to help you. All right. And if you know what calls and puts are, you're okay to be in here. You don't have to learn. You don't have to know the strategies. This is where you learn the strategies, right? This is where you're going to learn it all. So if you know what calls and puts are, this is where you need to be. And you're going to learn our strategies. You're going to learn, the mental aspects. You're going to learn money management. You're going to learn it all right here. All right. So daily, 9:20, 10:30. Okay, let's move on. Folks, here's the cool thing. All these programs, except the live event, offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. 30-day money-back guarantee. I mean, you're not going to go wrong with that, right? You're not going to go wrong with that. So, and that is the nice thing about it. All right, so let's move on. I don't want to keep you here. Let's do our contest. I think I got some more questions. Do I need more contest? Let me see here. More questions. I want to kind of get to some of these questions. I don't want to keep anybody without at least having a good shot at getting questions here. What time? So I think I addressed that. What time do I publish the trade of the day each morning? Pick of the day should go at around 9:05, 9:10 at the latest. So, okay. John C., I'm new at this, so am I buying contracts and only the SPY ticker? That is correct. We only trade SPY. We only trade SPI contracts, calls and puts. We do not do spreads and no naked positions. All right. We determine the propensity. Is the market ready to go up or down? And then we buy in that direction at the money options. And we are looking for just a small gain. And we grab the gains that the market gives us, look for the next setup, look for the next setup. That's what we do. And it's been working very well. All right. So, okay. All right. Let me see here. Okay. Douglas, hold on. No sense in panicking yet. We have 4 days here next week. There's going to be a lot of activity on those calls. I'll tell you something. If I'm sitting in the market right now, I'd like to be in calls. I'd be a little worried about puts, quite frankly, because earnings season is coming here. It's here, and save any stupid moves that somebody's going to make to push the market down. We should be moving to the upside, right? That's kind of what we're thinking here. So, okay, let me see. Where's the seminar workshop going to be? It's going to be in Baltimore, Maryland, Phil. Um, and not a problem. When is the recording being posted tomorrow? Okay. The recording for this session here will probably be posted, I'm guessing, probably Tuesday. I'm guessing the people at Eagle are not going to be coming to work. They'll probably be posting this on Tuesday. So, okay. How do we get that price for the inner circle? It comes up 4.99 for me. Oh, really? Uh, 4.99 for the inner circle? Suzanne, I should go check that. That's good to know. Really? Okay, so I am going to. Where's my pen? Isn't that funny? I had a pen here. Right here. I'm going to check that. The inner circle, you say comes up as 490. Are there, if there's multiple boxes to check off, because I think it's supposed to be what, 2.99 a quarter, right? Um, if it's coming up for at 4.90, a different price than what I quoted you, please contact customer service at DayTradeSPY. And I'm also going to write your name on here, Susanna. All right, and give you an update. I want to nail that one down. If there's a mistake on that, I need to know about it. So, thank you for identifying that. All right, so folks, we're going to have a contest now, and I want you to put a number between 1 and 100 in the questions box. This is our Day Trade Spy random number generator. We do this every Sunday night, and this is not the number. I am going to pull up the number. This was last week's number. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds here. Just grab a number between 1 and 100 and uh, and then put it up in the questions box. The person closest to the number that we're going to select is going to win an ebook. And you can either, it'll be your choice, Triumphs and Tragedies or Tips, Tricks, and Traps. If you do not tell me what you prefer, I'll give you triumphs and tragedies because some of those stories are really incredible to see how some people did extremely well and other people lost a lot of money. True stories of people that come through my desk here in the last little while. Like not when I say last little while, last what, 15 years or so. Okay. So, all right, we are going to cut off the numbers here in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we got everybody's number. Now, this is not the number. I'm going to hit this number on the count of three, and then we are going to have the number 1, 2, 3. The number is 4. The number is 4, ladies and gentlemen. The number is 4. So let me see. The person closest to 4 wins the ebook. And wow, okay, really? Rainey's at 11. The funny thing is we got a lot of people, and there's a handful of people that seem to win them a lot. Wow. Okay. Oh, there's one. Angie. Angie came in at 6. Okay. Angie L came in at 6. Let's see, who else do we have? Angie wins. Angie is the winner. And Angie, okay, nice. Sorry, Rainey. Angie came in at 6. The number was 4. Okay, cool. All right, folks, I think with that, I am going to leave this up there for the duration of the song. And again, click on the QR links to get information and book your sessions for all of these services that we provide, including our live event, Live Trading and Training, April 21st and 22nd in Baltimore. Of course, you got Inner Circle, DayTradeSPY Signal, Pick of the Day in the Trading Room. Been a pleasure, folks. Good night, everybody.